Aging in Asia is, progressing at different paces in different countries. In Japan, they already have, a pretty long experience in the Asian context in terms of caring for elderly. In Singapore, we are rapidly aging, and this is an issue that we are really, debating, about right now, and also trying to get all the various stakeholders together to come up with a more comprehensive solution and process, for aging. We need public, private, as well as not-for-profit community integration when we look at caring for the aged.
Well, I think there are several key problems. The first is the quality and efficiency of care for our older generation now. We know that from research that living longer does not necessarily mean living better. And currently at the minute, the extra years that people are experiencing are actually filled with chronic illness such as arthritis and dementia. So we have to look at ways of making our current services much more efficient and integrated, because demand is going to outstrip need that we can provide.
Then the next will be the people. Elderly people do need help, assistance. Of course, a lot of time they prefer their family members to take care of them. And this is where I always say we need to learn the skills, right? How to care for the elderly of different kind of illnesses. Yeah, sometimes it's just pure aging, other than dementia or Parkinson. And how do we do that? I always say that it's also almost like an education that we need to educate and we need to train. So for me, I think that all this has to be into a way of communication. Either the government has to kind of initiate all this, and it has to trickle down from the government to the private sector to the public sector.
Because of the way life is being structured now, many people do not have family. Either the children have left them and gone overseas, so the elderly left alone, or they do not get married and therefore they're single, or they're married and they don't have children. So many of them will grow old alone, and therefore somebody has to look after them. If they have a fair amount of cash, then fine, they can have a trust that will look after them. But if they do not have, then therefore I think it becomes a social responsibility to the government to look after these people.
And I think the second thing is we need to look at our future generations. Living longer is inevitable. It shows no signs of slowing down. But what we do need to do is make our current middle-aged people healthier as they get older, so there is less demand on health services.
What we hope, to achieve, and I think this is what everyone will hope to achieve, is to be able to age in place with, family and friends around, and with healthcare needs treated, and independence enabled.
We have actually started a pilot project in Malaysia in one of the rural areas where elderly people are kept at home, because we find that the support services in a kampong, in a village, is very good still. And what the government does is that these elderly people are kept at home, and the nurses from the community clinics will go to the houses and look after them, check on the pampers, check on the catheters, check on their nutritional status, and therefore this pilot project seems to be bringing positive results. So we think that if this works, we want to extend it nationwide. So therefore, like you rightfully say, keeping an elderly person out of a hospital is both not only good for the patient and the family, but it's also good from the government's economic standpoint of view.